Do you have a brilliant startup idea but are stuck in the launching phase? Are you feeling overwhelmed by funding, marketing, or just where to start? Don't let your startup idea stay grounded. Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
Welcome back to On The Cusp. I've got Matt Snyder, my co-host, with me.
I'm back.
We're back. They haven't canceled us yet.
Not yet.
Okay, good. So who's our guest? Who's our guest today, Matt?
So today, it's always fun when I get to bring my friends. So today is my good friend Audrey Robinson from Idea Path. We've done a lot together. She does all kinds of great stuff across the city. Long overdue bringing you in and talking.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So what's Idea Path?
So Idea Path is a full-service marketing company, but then it was really launched out of my experience working in the corporate world. So prior to opening Idea Path, I realized that I felt like there was a void for a lot of companies where they needed someone that they could call for anything from setting up a website, helping them with graphics, doing a logo, idea implementation. Maybe it's coming up with how to write a piece of software or how to write an app or, just figuring out a problem that their business faces. And so Idea Path does all of those things.
Wow, that's a whole lot. And it's great. I mean, we've talked before, on EAP and some of the challenges that a lot of people in the region come to us and they don't even have a logo.
Yeah.
They have no idea, that there has to be some thought into a logo, things like that.
That's right.
There's more to it. And my challenge with startups and marketing has always been, everybody thinks that you can go out, form an LLC, go in business, and get on social media, and everybody's just going to come to you.
That's right. That's right. We are sticklers for a brand. We love nothing more than when somebody either comes to us with a fresh concept or something that maybe it's been around for a long time and they've had this person develop this look and then somebody decided to build this out for them and it's all over the place.
Audrey is crazy organized.
Oh,
y'all know me. So let me tell you, let me just cut through all this. Matt Snyder and Audrey do things together because Audrey is all the organization I would never be able to have. And so, but Audrey, what I wanted to bring Audrey on today is to talk about Shreveport because Audrey is in the mix as much as anybody else, just like I am, and she's out there doing it. And we have a lot of conversations about different things. And Audrey always helps me organizing, coming back, but also looking at it from a light of positivity and hey, let's not get bogged down with what we can't do or what we, the problems, what makes it hard. It's made us a really good team. So Audrey, let's just throw it out there. Let's talk about doing business in Shreveport.
Yeah. So,
what do we have going for us?
So I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I moved to Shreveport in 1997. I had family from here. And I loved it. So I moved here by choice. I had no other reason to be here. I graduated from LSUS with a degree in communications and have stayed here ever since. I never wanted to move. I've had successful businesses. Prior to Idea Path, I had a software development company. I worked in oil and gas for 13 years and then came back just because I missed working with the clients and working with the people in Shreveport and being able to execute on projects and events. And we have such a wonderful community. They're philanthropic. They want to be involved. The people that are here, for the most part, I think they want to be here. And, I think that Shreveport, it needs things for people to do. And so when I met Matt, I think it was, it was great for me to have, a friend and, a business associate that we could go out and do fun events and things that draw people in.
With a business mind to them of hey, we're not helping anybody if we're just doing stuff that is costing us money, losing money. Audrey helped me bring things back to does this make any sense? Are you just fighting? You only have so many hours in a day. You have so much time. Are you just fighting the wars? Audrey's helped me get into a lot of stuff. She's also helped me get out of a lot of stuff. I mean, Audrey and I've had some really deep.
Absolutely. I mean, there has to be a purpose, and you have to be able to make money if you're going to go out and put all that time and effort.
When you've been out in Betty, Virginia Park for 40 hours straight, and you're sitting in the back of a U-Haul truck counting money at 11 o'clock at night, you really have some heart-to-hearts of like, hey, is this the right way to be doing this?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Well, and it's, I love the relationships that we've been able to bring together, whether it's with, creative community, the culinary community, the music community. I think that
that's a big
fun.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that like people like Audrey, I mean, let's say like myself, Bob Timms, people like, you need people in the community that are not afraid to dabble in all these different groups.
Yeah.
Because I think this is all community. This isn't a knock on Shreveport. This is all community. Everybody sits in their silos. Everybody hangs out with their group. And it's fun because, I mean, Audrey hangs out with some stuffy people. I mean, like, super stuffy, stuffs. Like, but Audrey brings them to the table and gets them out doing things and gets them involved and can connect them to, like, the creatives. I mean, like...
Well, it's so nice to have those different groups of friends and coworkers, and, you may do some of the same things. Matt and I do a lot of the same things, and I think that what's great is you're not going to step on somebody's toes. Like, you can't be afraid that somebody's going to take somebody from you. Or
you're better for having
that.
both of you than you are... I was going to bring that up later, like, because I think that's some point that me and you can talk about better than most in town. Shreveport's had, I'll just throw it out there now, Shreveport in the past, and I hope it's getting better, has had a problem with sharing, playing together, playing nice, collaborating. A lot of people have protected their pot.
Yeah.
Are we getting better at that?
I mean, I think so. I mean, the people that I work with, I collaborate with a number of different marketing groups in town.
Well, I guess, Matt and I have this thing going, he's all about culture and events and he wants lots of them. I come from the side of, I need to create jobs. The more jobs I create, the more events, festivals that you can have in Shreveport, because there will be something for everybody. And where we see the conflict that you're talking about is everybody, are all these people putting on events fighting for the same dollar?
Yeah. The funny thing about those two worlds is the economic job side and the event side. There's the same fight in both. The economic people, are they fighting or playing nice? The event tourism type people, are they fighting or playing nice? I think they're all playing. I'm going to say it this way. They're playing nicer in 2025 than they were playing in 2015. I don't think we're there. I don't think we're playing nice enough yet.
So I think
we're moving
I think
in the
it
right
works
direction.
best if everybody is a competitor. Okay? And I'm coming from a Department of Defense industry guy, okay, to where, look, me by myself, I can't win this. I can't make this great by myself.
Right.
But if I team with you, I can make this great, and we together can win.
Right.
Our challenge here, and I'm just telling you, okay, my observation is we're not competitors. We don't do that. It's my festival or it's nothing.
Right.
Okay? It's my event, or I don't care whether you win or lose.
Okay, Audrey, you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Me and Audrey team up because me and Audrey are privately funded individuals. What I see the conflict coming from, and what you're talking about, Dave, is when these festivals or entities are using money,
Public money,
and they don't want to share their bucket. I don't have a bucket. Audrey doesn't have a bucket. If we don't share our buckets, we'll just die. Like we got to pool our buckets.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, okay? The minute you put public money in there, things change.
Oh,
okay?
things get different.
It gets real.
It gets a lot fuzzier.
It gets real fuzzy, okay? Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be public money in that, but the public money ought to be very specific and it ought to be measured, Okay?
Audrey, you work with more nonprofits and bigger corporations that deal with a lot, and you came from big corporations, big groups. What is your feeling on that?
You know, I think that we've got to have the small events that happen, and we've got to have the big events that happen. I think the key is when that people don't work together to be respectful of when is your event? What is your event? Why are we doing this? Because, you know, I want to know that if there is a big festival going on in town, I'm not going to put one of my smaller clients up against that.
Right.
You know, I mean, sometimes you have to, because we are all pulling from the same group of people that attend these events. So, you know, I think everybody needs to be aware of everybody's schedules and not just the little ones looking out at the big ones.
Right.
And to kind of come back to what you said about the jobs and employment, you know, it's kind of a chicken and an egg situation. If somebody's looking at moving here or moving their business here, they want to know there's stuff to do. They want to look at that community calendar and they want to see it full of whatever they love. You know, if it's animals, if it's art, if it's kids, if it's whatever, they want to be able to look and find something that they're like, this is great. This is something that I want to take myself to, my family to, and be proud of, because I think quality of life and experiences are what drive people these days.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen like Shreve Possible on Facebook has a great calendar
he does
going
a great
right
job
now, and that's out. I think that's something new. But you're seeing, once again, people just jump in and do it. And so I think that's kind of the key. I want to talk about this because it's really exciting, and I tell people this a lot. Audrey has done an amazing job. She took an event, Taste for Holy Angels, which has been a wonderful event. It's been around forever. How old is Taste?
I think this is 45
years.
Somewhere there, yeah. I need to
And it was
check.
a wonderful event that people love in Shreveport. But Audrey, Holy Angels was smart enough to hire Audrey, and she has transformed that event. And I think for a lot of people, I have a whole new interest in going to Taste. And that is what we really need to see. And that's what I see when I travel in other cities happening. The guy like me or Audrey gets swept up into the tourism bureaus or the city or the big nonprofits. They're like, wow, you're doing this on your own. I don't see you as a threat. I see you as an asset to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we've done a great job of that here. I don't think that, I mean, I spent a week in Lafayette having meetings with event people, and I met a guy that started his event company about the same time as mine, and he's working for every small town in a 100-mile radius, and he's working for the government. I would tell you that 80% of the checks that guy's company receives is from the cities, because they value entertainment and culture and whatnot, and they found a guy that's doing a great job. And, you know, I mean, I'll just tell you this story really quick. I had a meeting with a group in Lafayette called Munkus Park. Munkus Park was this 100-acre piece of land in the middle of Lafayette that was owned by UL. It was their equestrian center. And they were like, we don't need an equestrian center anymore. We're going to sell it to developers. Be another shopping center when Lafayette's so tight already. And a bunch of students were like, don't do that. They basically started a campaign. The city buys the land. The city props up a nonprofit, signs a 30-year lease to the nonprofit to manage and fundraise for this park. And the park has full-time programming and full maintenance and publicity. And that's creative thinking. My question is, I'm not comparing it to those other, and I'm not saying that's the way we need to do it, but are we having those conversations? Are those type of conversations open in the city of Shreveport right now?
Nobody's come to me, okay? So I
That's the part
couldn't say
I think,
it is.
I think we're missing that part. The creative thinking of this piece of land is about to be sold to another shopping center. Let's stop and talk about it. And let's be creative about a solution.
I mean, I think that's great. I know that there are a group of event planners and, you know, coordinators and musicians that would love to get together and have that open forum to talk.
It's the spot that's missing to me is, and they do, they get together. I've been invited every 2 years. I get invited by some group to come sit in a conversation. They meet 3 times and then they stop meeting because there's no leader with any money. And so until we have the powers that be come to the table and start to support those people, whether it's elected officials, nonprofits, tourism bureaus, whoever. Somebody's got to take the torch and run with that actually has the power and sway to make something happen. Because otherwise you just got a bunch of dreamers in a room. And we got them and they're awesome.
Right.
But they're doing all they can do already.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. If you're a dreamer out there and you want to do something, how do you find Idea Path?
Well, Idea Path's a dreamer. She's on the dreamer team.
She's on the dreamer team?
Yeah. So we find each other. The dreamers find each other, but the dreamers don't have any money or sway.
And there's limited corporate sponsorships in Shreveport.
Right.
It's one, everybody's going after the same
thing. I see it all
thing.
the time. Okay.
And then you're trying to do something. The passion of all of us is there. Audrey and I have a true love for Shreveport and a care for this community. But what happens is because you're having to make these things work and you're having to go out to the same good people that do support things in the community, and that's a small bucket, you start looking like a beggar. You're always at their door and none of us want to be that.
Yeah, and people are going to have their passions on what they want to support, and that's great. You don't want to pull somebody from that. It's just
so you start pulling back. So what happens is if you look at every Matt Snyder over the last 25 years, you see them start great things and all this energy and all this risk and all the thing, and then it just slowly declines and the guy in Lafayette that I met, his has slowly gone up because the support from people with money and power for him has driven him up, and the lack of support of people with money and power for me has made me get more risk adverse and
more selective. Exactly how many events you're going to do.
Right.
Or how many you're going to take on.
Yeah,
how many
how
you can
often
pay
do
for.
I want to go take one of those
Which goes
these
back
events
to-
are hard.
Yeah.
Dude, the work, doing these events that I did at 32 years old, at 43, me and Audrey are out there like trucking tables across. And then you look at the other events that are publicly funded and they're having people truck their tables for them because they have a budget to truck tables. I don't have any trucking table budget. I got to truck it myself. And at 43 years old, it hurts me, Dave.
Well, I know. I know. Trust me on that. Who do we go to fix that?
I think right now, all there is to do is to keep doing things like this and talking about it until it's going to take someone having the power and being in a position that sees a need to amp up our culture, amp up our efforts, use our money in a different way that's there.
Yeah,
but
I have seen some positive events on the city side. Okay, with the permitting and the wait periods. When you first told me, you were running an event like I think it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and you had to go 3 times to get an alcohol permit. I was like, that's insane. Okay.
Yeah, but that's still exact same.
You think it's still the same?
It's probably worse.
That process has gone through a significant renovation.
I hope so. I haven't got one in a month, so we'll see.
You go back. You go back and check it. Give it a shot. Tell me what it does.
Let me just say, my girls down there, Miyoka, and the rest of them, don't mess with them. Those are my girls. They take good care of me.
I'm not messing with them.
But the process, the people are good. The processes are so out of date. That's the problem. The people help me, and that's probably what I told you. I probably said, Dave, I don't have any problem getting permits. But if you had a new Matt Snyder, a new 32-year-old Matt Snyder trying to figure out
the process,
the only reason there's any more information than there was when I was 32 is we've all fought through and done it, and people know.
Well, it's tough, I know, and here's the thing. We need the events. We need it all, okay? Because let's go back to what we were talking about originally. People are coming here, okay?
Yeah.
They are moving here. There's a lot of great things going on in this city, and we got to have this. It's part of what we do.
And when we talk about culture, I'm always says we always go to events. Events are 10% of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about culture. Monroe just got an amazing downtown hotel that is out of this world. Lafayette Hotel is in development now, $19 million project in their downtown to get a hotel that stands up to other cities.
Yeah.
We have the Remington. Dorset, we had him on here. He's fighting the fight. He's fighting the good fight.
Oh, yes.
He doesn't have food and beverage in there. He doesn't have a lot of things that people expect in a hotel of that level at this point. We got to keep going. Culture is not about events.
That's
Everybody
right.
wants to put us in this event corner.
I'm glad. I was thinking the exact same thing. It's programming. It's things that people expect. You know, I mean, like during this, I mean, I love having the farmers market to go to.
Right.
But, you know, we've got them at Providence. We've got them downtown. But then there's a gap. I mean, like, why don't we have that every weekend somewhere with something happening? And, you know, the
agree.
breweries have been good about filling in some of those gaps.
Yeah,
And,
the
you know,
restaurant scene is phenomenal.
They're great.
They've
It's
done such
all
a
of it.
great job in
Yep.
the last 15 years of catching us up.
Yep.
But they did it on their own.
It's just the consistency of looking at that community calendar. And again, it doesn't have to be a big event, you know, and
Right.
that's what
Right.
I agree
It
with
doesn't
that,
have to be
Matt.
a big event.
No, it can be small, and it can be some group followings and things that people just know they can count on, that it's going to be out there, that they can attend.
And that's what you figure out over time. And Audrey and I have gotten really good at that. How do you make an impact without the huge expense, the huge effort? We're doing
Right.
tonight, we're doing a summer version of our tinsel event at Shopping.
Yep.
And we're going to put 120 shoppers on Line Avenue on a Friday night in July,
Yeah.
when some of these shops don't see 10 customers all the month of July. We'll probably, my estimate would be that we'll put $10,000 of local spending in the market tonight. And we've done minimal investment.
Yeah, minimal investment, some billboard, social media, press release, done and done.
And that makes a difference. And we're just two local people.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is probably a good point to wrap it up, but I think that's the key. It takes people like y'all fighting the fight every day, working with everybody in the community to make sure they understand, hey, it's not easy,
Right.
but the return on that investment is significant. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
All right.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.